Well, now that everybody's here, if we wanted to get started, we ready to go, Theta? Right.
He's making the thumbs up closure of the screen, so we're definitely ready.
In that case, last time we played, we had traveled through the woods heading to a ruins called Weatherstone. You had, on the way there, encountered a destroyed village. The sand was all scorched black. The village was reduced to rubble, stones tossed about, maybe chunks of foundation. You decided to take her back. You ran into some quicksand, got through that okay, and we're just getting back to the village, the Hollows, where you were going to hopefully be dropping off the girl, seeing how things go from there.
Yeah, Red, we found a little girl.
Yeah, I jumped in for part of the stream, but I wasn't there for the end of it. So, you guys found and there's something weird about her, right?
Yes, when you said found her, she was just down on her knees, catatonic in the village, well, the remains of the village. Uh, you fed her, gave her water, she ate and drank, was still catatonic, but she traveled with you. She got up and walked around, just would not vocalize or communicate with anybody in any way.
Gotcha. Okay, and so the current plan is to get her back to the Hollows, and maybe someone will adopt her, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then I had one more question. So the town that we found, it was gone or destroyed or run down. Was it like burned down or just abandoned or overgrown?
Was destroyed. I believe somebody made rolls and determined there was some kind of magical catastrophe. The sand, and it was just reduced to sand and rubble, some foundations. The sand was charred black.
Yikes. And only one survivor.
Yes.
Alright then.
I'm telling you, she's the devil.
And we had left off with just coming back into the town, so I will move these over onto the map. Right. I did put labels onto most of the places you saw or asked about last week. Red, you weren't here at the very beginning. I'll let you know if you go into the collection tab, you'll see some macros that you have access to. One of them's location. If you click on that, you'll get a box on the screen and a little crosshair. If you go on those some of the pins, you'll get a brief description in the chat.
Oh, yep. It just did it. Did the thing.
Alrighty, you got it.
Cool.
Now, everybody wants to let me know you're doing as we are entering town.
Yes, dropping the kid off at House of the Village Elder. I don't know.
Yeah, where would we drop her off? That's a good point.
Yeah, the village elder actually would sound like a pretty good place to do that.
Or the chapel. Well, the chapel's just a chapel. It's not a church.
Yeah, it's not a temple of any kind, just a chapel.
I say let's drop her off and then let's resupply because I'm out of food and that's not good.
Okay. In that case, as you're just casually coming through the gate, regretfully, you see old Rust brother. He doesn't have any of his buddies with him yet, thankfully. He's just by himself, kind of hanging out in the square outside of the dead man's hand.
Of course he is.
Yeah, he sees you. He gets a very strange look on his face. The small girl comes to life, kind of. Her head kind of picks up and she cries out, Uncle Sturkis, Uncle Sturkis. They blew up the village, and goes running to him. He's looking down at her and he's looking up at you guys. He's got a rather nasty expression.
Oh,
Seems
God.
like he may have taken that statement the wrong way.
And Klingon will put his hand up. No. We did not do it. Somebody else did. That's the they.
Well, it's also, this is the 48-hour mark that you're supposed to not be here. So.
True.
Dumdeus will put a shoulder on Klingerdin's hand. Let's reverse that. Hand on Klingerdin's shoulder. God, it's early for me today. But yes, and sort of caution him. Perhaps words are not what's necessary here. Let's wait and see.
We'll get your swords out in a minute, but wait, please. They don't want to start spilling blood in the streets here, or else we're not going to be able to come back.
Who said anything about spilling blood in the street? I'm trying to avoid that.
Oh, usually you go after people and spill blood on the streets.
It looks like Russ' brother is kind of motioning this girl behind him. He's got a hand on the hilt of his sword. He's looking down at her, points. These people blew up your village? She replies, No, the wizards, the wizards. He takes a different look, approaches you. His hand is no longer on his sword, and he's got a gruff, gravelly voice. Explain what happened to the village, please.
It's a dumb move anyway, really, if you think about it. If you think we just blew up a whole village and you were reaching for your sword as though... What? You were going to do something? If we had the power to destroy a village, you were going to take us out with a piece of steel?
Now's not the time to point out logic.
No, it's not logic, it's stupidity. This man's a fucking idiot. Have fun with your relative or whatever that we fucking saved and get the fuck out of our place.
Madrigal just smacks his face in astonishment.
I would say make a quick lore roll.
Who's making it?
Kadak.
I mean, it didn't help
It's not
that
a very good roll.
Well, no, it's not good because I'm also hurt in my wits. So.
Oh, dear.
I'll tell you what. Why doesn't everybody make a lore roll as Kadak is starting to say this?
I mean, it sounds like I was making a manipulation roll anyway.
Well, I was given a lore roll for some little background first. Well, Bings Klingerton does have experience with Russ Brothers. You know that they are dead sent against witchcraft and forms of magic as such. They are also known to be quite the hardened warriors. But you want to move on to manipulation. Go ahead and make a roll for that.
I mean, I wasn't trying to. I'm saying it seems like that's all I was.
Yeah. I just wanted to see if anybody knew that little background information on Rust Brothers.
It's a good little background.
He's got 2 successes. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I think that's...
Oh, you want me to actually make it? Okay.
No, I'm actually insight is what I'm opposing with.
Okay. I'm going to say, because I, much like I think a couple other people here, have sharp tongue. We can hurt this guy down to nothing with words.
We could.
Never mind, though. Because he has no successes. So all you have to do is succeed. Did you roll yet?
No, you kept saying never mind, so I decided I was going to do it. Literally, I'm giving him the fuck off and push past move. I'm not standing around having a debate.
So let me get this straight. You're literally pushing past him, giving him the cold shoulder, and just blowing past him.
Yeah. Came
And
back to
you're
drop off the girl. The girl recognized somebody. She went to him. I called him a fucking idiot for drawing a sword against someone he thought destroyed an entire city or town. And
sword.
walk
I
off.
said he had his hand on his hilt of his sword.
Yeah, the threat is that I'm going to draw it. What? Not that I'm just going to hold this even tighter.
Okay, in that case, you tell him to fuck off and hit him with the shoulder, and now he's telling you to, whoa, what's the deal?
Okay, misrepresentation. I didn't mean knock him with my shoulder. I say push past. I mean like blow past.
In
Like,
other words, you're
I walk
ignoring.
off. Yeah, I walk off in the direction he's standing in. I go past him.
So you don't literally tell him to fuck off and
Oh no! I literally said fuck off. I just mean that I don't hit him with my shoulder in that high school way.
okay. Alright. In that case, if you don't do that, he just lets you walk past and gives you a nasty sneer. Takes his parent niece and walks away.
I say it's a wide open village. It'd be insane if I was just like, oh, this is a close hallway. Let me just shoulder bump.
I must
The
say
way
that
you
went better than I thought it would.
the way you said
Right.
you
Yeah, I know.
told
I
him to
just, it's when you're used to using certain words to mean things and they don't mean the thing that you're using them for. It's kind of
But
blow past is what I'm gonna have to say from now.
well no, the whole exchange seemed like you were trying to be uh
Aggressive. No, I was being aggressive. I just wasn't being. I want to start a fight. Aggressive.
You were being physically aggressive.
I wasn't being physically aggressive. I was being
Right.
verbally aggressive.
That's what I
so
meant to say.
anyway, moving on. Everybody, well, some of you were going to be reprovisioning, you said?
Yeah, I kind of need to.
Alright, if everybody has access to the equipment list in the player's book, I believe, you can just go in there and get what you need.
I realize this might be, we might have moved past this scene, but I think Domdeus is curious about a mentioning of powerful wizards leveling a town. Sounds like just the kind of thing that leads to high drama in a song, so he may approach the Rust brother and he's going to address this to the little girl. This is the first time she's spoken the entire journey, right? But she seems to be speaking now, so I think he will walk up to her and say, "Little sister, what are these wizards of which you speak?"
You're actually chasing after the two of them?
Yes, he'll arrive out of breath again.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russ brother spins around once again, getting between you and her. He seems to be very protective. She does not respond. He gruffly tells you that there were two competing wizards that lived in that town. they had come to magical blows before in the past. Apparently, it had come to a rather nasty conclusion, and I have lost a sister and a brother-in-law. So, if you will grant me my leave as well as hers, I have mourning to do. Wanders off in
Okay.
that direction.
Well, I will let them go.
Was anyone doing anything in town other than provisioning?
I would be, but I would be doing it after provisioning. So,
Uh, is it something we can do while everybody else is going through equipment?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find on the equipment, like,
what are you looking for?
food and water, like the ration stuff.
Field rations of 1 silver.
Okay, you found it.
Yeah, but it only increases your die up by 1. So
My dies are currently 0.
right, so 1 silver would get you a D4.
I thought the smallest was D6.
I'm pretty sure D4 is smaller than a D6.
No, you're right. On the sheet, the lowest it can go is D6.
How did we get to 0 then?
Because once you deplete on a D6, you go down to 0.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just doing. We have a lot of games that use D4s, so I just assumed this one did too.
Yeah, I know. I don't blame you. All right, 1 silver for food and 1 silver for water.
Yes.
I didn't
well,
check
no,
on
water
water.
is free. Water is free.
All right, well, I will fill up on the water.
Right here.
What have we been using as the... If I'm trying to sell something back?
Believe that was 50%, unless you wanted to make a roll.
I'm not. I will take 50%.
50%.
I'm going back on the deal that we made earlier. Madrigal, you can keep your cauldron. I need to get rid of this field kitchen.
Very well.
I mean, I think it's going to work out either way because the D6 plus 2 means a 3 at the lowest, whereas my 2D12 can... 2D12? What the hell am I talking about? 2D6 can still get a 2. So, you're probably at the middle of the road. Plus, this thing sells for 2 silver. So...
I am officially broke, by the way. But I have food again.
I mean, that the field kitchen is worth 4 silver, so if I sell it back, I get 2 silver back. Which means that I can buy a ration, and then do the thing that's not equipment that I talked about before, which is hire a teacher.
Oh, you're doing that now. Cool.
Did you ever pay Cleveland back?
No, but we had the deal that was going to come from the adventure.
All right.
What were you getting a teacher for?
I wanted to hire a, I want to say a warrior. Somebody who can teach me, swordplay and defense.
There is someone in town that could teach you that. Regretfully, you just blew him off.
Hey, you asshole, I just saved that little girl. Now take my fucking money and teach me how to do better.
Oh, no.
I mean, literally, if I have to find out that he's the guy, then this is how I'm approaching him.
He would be the guy that you would go to. Strongest sword in the town, and apparently he does have a reputation.
Yeah, well, imagine that I said those words to him then.
He looks at you. He's got this weird look on his face, like he's sizing you up. I kind of like your style. Regretfully, as you know, I'm in mourning. Can you give me 3 days?
No,
Then
can you
I'll
can't
teach
point
you.
me to the second best swordsman in town?
Well, I can assure you that the second best swordsman in town you do not want to learn from. You will probably kick his back. I'll tell you what. You actually think yous are kind of cut from the same lump of wood. I'll let you make a manipulate roll. See if you can talk him into teaching you now.
I mean, I'll make the roll, but I know I'm going to fail. I'm still
Oh.
hurt in the wits, and my wits is my lowest already.
Well, he can fail too. You never know. Yeah, see?
That's why
Look
I
at
said,
that.
I know, I said I'd make the roll because who the hell knows? Dice are swingy.
And they are today. Yeah, he looks up and says, you know what? I'll give you a few lessons. He takes you out back behind his small hut.
Fade to black.
Yeah, fade to black as you hear the clanging of steel and a lot of ooh, ow, ooh, 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 as you get schooled in some combat.
Which is also how I'm going to spend the next 2 quarters of the day. Because
All
you
right.
spend 1 silver for a teacher per day. So, yeah. So that's what I'm going to use to learn Defender and Sword Fighter, rank 1. Spending 6 XP.
Come on, kitty cat. All right, so yes, you get some lessons of hard knocks and fighting. Come out a little bruised, but none the worse for wear. Everybody else provisions up, I believe.
Well, I can't because I'm out of money, so that would lead me to my last resort of robbing the chapel. I assume it's in Russ Brothers Chapel.
It is just a general chapel.
Well, God already has lots of money. I mean, look at like all these churches, and look at that big freaking temple with the very expensive obelisks. I mean, that's got to be worth something. So let's have some alms for the poor here.
Looking at the chapel, you can see it's honestly a glorified gazebo. There is
I should
really
make getting it
nothing
easy.
of value. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, I should make getting in easy.
There's no doors.
Well, I'm more looking for, like, say, the alms box or like any scattered coins.
Nothing like that, no.
All right, then I guess I'm forced to rob the inn.
What do you need money for right now?
Uh, food and lodging.
We ate today already, didn't we?
Well, food
Yes,
for the trip.
Right.
Meant
But you
for-
also didn't run out of rations, right? I thought that was
I
just
did.
me and you
I
did.
did.
Huh.
Yeah, we all did. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
problem.
I thought only you and me did, Robert. I didn't think Arcloid did.
I don't know how we want to address it or if we want to address it, but I still haven't depleted any resources because I wasn't here for the journey.
We left you in town, which is why it was great that we came back to town for the session that you were here. Came back.
That works. The next question is journey to where? Where are we going?
We still have to go back the way we came to that place on the overmap whose name
it
escapes
is
me.
a Weatherstone.
Gotcha.
You quick reminder, if you go into the legends in the journal, you will see the legend of Weatherstone.
I see it now. Thank you.
Yes, where was everybody going to be staying if you were going to be crashing for the night?
On the street.
All right, last time you were behind the dead man's hand, kind of in the alleyway. And everybody else?
Sorry. Okay, so because I'm here and I have not depleted my resources, I still got my money and stuff. So if people need cash, I can front them cash for resources. I'm currently sitting on 5 silver and 5 copper.
5 silver.
Yeah, I don't know.
You are rich.
I guess I'm rich.
What's your
Yes,
name
you
again?
are.
Dom Deus.
Hey, Dom Deus. Your money purse seems pretty heavy.
Buddy, old pal.
Can I borrow 2 silver from you?
As we are traveling companions, I consider this an investment, and yes, he will pass you 2 silver.
Thank you very much. Hey, Klingerton, here you got the money I owe you.
We
Ha.
agreed to 3 for 2.
Yes, well, I've got some of the money I owe you.
That will be enough for tonight, thank you.
I whisper to Dom Deus, you should know better to give out money to these people.
You're probably right. However, I'm trying to be more trusting of those I intend to travel with.
Trust them at arm's length, maybe. That might be the best way to do it.
Think of it this way. 1, I've spread my debt out amongst 2 people, which means if one of them dies, I lose half of my debt.
Don't have to pay the dead.
Also, 1 and 2 is less than 3.
Madrigal, I am beginning to see your point.
So, were you all going to be getting rooms for the evening? Were you going to be sleeping in an alley with Kadak?
What do I need to do to heal, by the way?
Well, I believe that will happen over time as you are resting. Let me just
Yeah, I just need my 1 point of wits back.
1 point of which you would just get as you're resting.
Got it. Yep, sleep out in the cold, dirty alley.
I suppose if there's no penalties to it, I'll also sleep in the alley.
Yeah, the weather is nice. I believe last session I said it was springtime, so just a little hay on the ground.
Is there any way I can do some busking?
I'm
Like,
sorry, enlighten me on busking.
like outside in the call. I take my hat, put it on the floor, have my loot out, and just start playing for people passing by, and then hopefully they'll throw some money in the hat.
Well, tell you what,
Uh,
I'm going into the inn to sleep and potentially rob the place. So
Ha.
you could come with me and maybe even earn your supper, or earn your keep, basically, by busking.
Yeah, actually, that would make more sense. I'll go into the inn and do the busking instead. How's that sound?
Yeah, get a captive audience.
I was really hoping that when I gave Klingerton the 2 silver, that he was going to abandon the robbing the inn plan. Of the town filled with rust whatevers that hate him and already told him to leave, and gave him 48 hours, and 48 hours he came back anyway.
Well, he did save his niece's life, so that may have gotten him a couple of
Extra
brownie
days.
points.
Yeah, so now I've got to do some negative karma to make up for the good karma.
Yeah, to the only town in the area.
The only town that's not destroyed so far.
Yeah, no, I just mean the only town that,
You do have a point. I don't want to shit where I eat.
I just mean if there was other options. If there were other options, it might be a little more acceptable, but if you get shunned and barred from this town, you're gonna die.
Yeah, perhaps when you find another bridge, you can burn the one you have. But,
I'll just have to use my properties of robbery for good.
or just find the right person to rob.
Obviously, that's the right thing to do.
So, were you returning to the same tavern as before the Dead Man's Hand? Reminder, the Three Skulls Tavern was run by a dwarf that had sworn off dwarfhood for some reason. You saw him moving across the street. He actually shaved his head and his beard. The strangest things, yeah.
Inward shudder. Ooh.
I mean,
Uh,
we'll go back to the dead man's drink or whatever the hell it's called.
they look
And
like right here.
yeah,
I bet he even likes magic.
what's wrong with
Probably.
magic?
Remembering correctly, it was something about the fact that he got caught brewing a human beer recipe.
Ooh, blasphemous.
Yes.
That would
So,
be like using human masonry techniques.
Yeah, just
Inferior.
about. Uh huh.
Or using human tools. Oh.
do you want me to roll for performance then? I guess inside the tavern.
Yeah, so you were going into the one that was used by the human,
Yeah,
which
not
was
the one
the
with the
dead
dwarf
man's
eating dwarf.
hand. Yeah, that was run by Mrs. Palmore.
Yep.
And of course, she's always happy to have one of the minstrels come in and play for her. And she's more than happy to pay you with the price of a meal.
I will not say no to a meal. I need to have my third breakfast.
Yes, then go ahead. You can make a roll for that.
Oh, jeez. Uh,
Ooh. You can push that.
do I really want to?
I was going to say,
Push it
fair
real good.
warning, if you push that, not only does that skull activate on your attribute, but also on your gear.
Which means the loot breaks.
What's it rated at? One, right? Yeah, rated at now.
It's only a 1.
Yeah, that would bust the loot.
Yeah, we're gonna do with that. I'm clearly out of sorts after the horrors I've seen.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. You got a success on your base dice.
I got 1
I'm not
success, yeah, but 2 fail.
two fail. You could push it for more successes. So basically, you do okay. Uh,
Trying a new song about a demon girl who destroyed a town. It's not going over well.
yeah, but you get a couple of copper pieces.
I'll take it.
I don't know if you were around for that part, Red, where he ran in terror from the little girl.
Oh yeah, I was there for part of it. Was that the result of a terribly failed roll or breaking?
Of course it was.
Nice. I mean, hey, listen, in that setup in any dark fantasy world, you probably did the safest thing.
Well, I am the most pragmatic in the party, I guess.
Now, the two of you went inside the dead man's hand, got some food, room for the night. The other two, you happen to be outside now as things are heading to dusk and you're still traveling through town. As the sun goes down, anybody coming out of a building, you notice that they give a couple of dings on that bell and announce themselves that they're just here in peace towards the undead. And as the sun sets on nightfall, you can actually see apparitions start to materialize. They're wandering around town, as well as some humanoid forms traveling out of the old cemetery area back here. They don't seem to be taking any mind of the living people who are walking. Uh, Two of you,
Yep, I guess time to kill all their ancestors.
make a insight roll.
Haha, not trained to be insightful. No successes.
Look, I'm just
Had a
made for this world.
right. You do notice Everybody who is still going about town is keeping to the roads and pathways that are marked with those blue painted stones. You also see a few people sitting on their porches watching you intently with grins on their faces.
I mean, I literally slept out here just 2 nights ago, so
Actually, we're back here behind the dead man's hand, and so you didn't see much of the streets.
I mean, pointedly, I wasn't on a blue rock at the time, so
No, but the whole fenced area is outlined in blue rock.
Sounds like I might be looking for last-minute lodgings.
All
This
right.
is fascinating, but yeah, I don't intend to sleep with the dead.
All
yeah,
right.
it's a very illegal habit to have.
Gross.
Crack open a cold one.
Grosser.
That was even grosser. So, how much will a last-minute room at the inn cost?
Same price.
1 silver.
I believe so. I can look that up for you.
Pansy. I'm staying out here.
How are you all traveling? Two of you through the town.
How are we all traveling through the town?
Oh, I mean, I will stick to the bluestone paths and knock on any bell that I pass.
All right. And Kadak, you
I'm
sticking to the blue
No,
blue
I don't.
pathway?
Why? I'm not moving. I told you, I'm where I am. I'm planning to sleep. I'm bed down where I am.
Well, this was happening as you were traveling from Russ Brothers' house to the alleyway you were in before.
Oh, I assumed that since we had moved off tonight, I was just like, all right, guys, and I went and left that building that they were in. And if I'm walking around, I don't know why I'm even noticing anything. I am not observant.
All right. In that case,
For the sake of expediation, just assume that I do whatever I did the first time I was in town.
okay. Uh, in that case, you would stick to the bluestone pathways?
I don't recall doing that the first time. You pointed it out. We didn't investigate. I didn't make a deal of it, so
Yeah. Like I said, you just really weren't traveling outside.
no. We went to the inn. They all decided to get rooms. I decided to sleep outside, and that was it.
All right. In that case, why don't you roll a six-sider for me?
Oh, I got a separate room in the inn if that matters. And if there's extra beds there, then
Uh,
Days would say. Or Middlegall, that's who wanted to do the fancy music.
It's
okay,
more pedestrian tonight than fancy.
Kadak, as you're wandering around, you can hear a sad song in what is some accumulating fog. Uh, After a couple of seconds, you can see a form appear in the fog. Um, Humanoid form, playing a lute with a noose around its neck.
Oh, I see Madrigal's got competition.
It's quite a sad tune, but the apparition is playing it quite nicely. How do you respond?
I ignore it.
Okay. If you ignore it, continue on.
Well,
It
hold
does
on.
not.
You keep the descriptions you're giving me are that I'm in motion, but my thought process is that I'm like huddled up against a wall or something, trying to rest. So
What had happened? You went for 2/4 of the day, got trained. As you're traveling back to where you had crashed out in the alley the previous time you were in town, which was back here, the sun was going down. All these undead and apparitions started to come out.
no, I understood that you were saying this all happened after I got trained. It's just I assumed at some point I would get to where I was going. It's just I understand. I'm not arguing. Don't. I'm just saying that at some point I'm gonna get there, and I'm ignoring everything on the way. You know, the way I did when I entered town. Like, I gotta get to the shop. I want to sell my fucking thing. These people keep stopping to talk to everybody.
Yes, but this is supposed to happen if you travel after dark.
No, I understand that. It doesn't mean I don't ignore it. I keep ignoring it.
Okay. Moving on then. You get to the alleyway and everybody sleeps for the night. Waking up the following morning, what is everyone doing?
I did not get a good night's sleep.
Nice, soft, comfy beds.
Alright, well, I assume we're going to just head out back and going to actually try and get to this ruin, is that correct?
My purse is quite light. We hope to find riches in this ruin. We should get a move on.
Let's go!
Don't you go hogging all the good stuff there.
Don't you go getting yourself killed. I predict we will likely need our burglar alive.
Don't say burglar out loud in town.
Alright.
He didn't say burglar. He said burger. This dude's a mayor.
Oh, I do like burgers.
No, it's a Germanic term for mayor.
I'm aware. The Burger Master.
Meister.
Burger Master, Master Burger.
Okay, traveling out of town. I gave you all just a group marker for now. I'll have control of it just to make things easier. It is the first quarter of the day. Are you traveling back the way you came? Taking a different route?
If we travel the way we came, is travel faster?
I will say, due to how recently you've been moving through the area, there wouldn't be a roll for encounters, but you would still want to make your regular rolls for leading the way and keeping watch.
You guys want to just avoid the encounters and see what happens, or do you
No.
want to just...
I was going to suggest that we probably want to make some divergence. But that, my opinion's based on the way the XP system of this game works.
I was about to say, too, you have to cover a hex that you haven't seen before in order to get XP for traveling.
Would this be the path that we could take?
Well, I mean, I was going to say something more, go this way, come out here, and then go down one. Because we only have to explore one new hex a session to get that XP. So it behooves
And-
us not to explore the entire fucking map in one go.
True.
And also, this spot right here you have not been into yet, so simply traveling there would be moving into an unexplored hex.
This Weatherstone.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm zooming in. Okay, right. Where was it that I guess we found the girl in the village in this hex?
Yeah, the last
Yes.
pin.
Gotcha. Okay. Question answered.
You got right to the front step and then you turned around and went home.
Because I wasn't about to take a young child into an unexplored.
Or leave her at an abandoned, destroyed village.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So in that case, we'll be traveling into first hex if somebody wants to move your GPS marker. Decide who is going to be leading the way and who is going to be keeping watch.
I do Pathfinder. Pathfinder? Yeah, Pathfinder.
Yes. And it is 2 hexes through this terrain, I believe.
I have a 5 dice in scouting.
This
I
is
I think you were doing it last time, weren't you?
I think
Have
I
you
have
scouted?
6 dice in scouting. Ka-chow.
Go for it.
But maybe we can both. Can we both scout? I don't remember how this works.
One person keeps watch.
What would that be?
wouldn't that be scouting?
I assume scouting. Yeah.
That's my
Oh.
the pathfinding one.
I was just keeping watch, maybe.
Scouting is for keeping watch. Survival is for leading the way.
Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong one then. Ignore my success. I will try for another one.
You can double check that. I might be.
I know. I think you're right because I don't know why I'm worse at scouting than survival. I don't know why I would have been doing that before.
Okay.
And Klingerton, you don't mind if I roll our scout with 6 dice?
Even better success.
Go for it. I can do. What was the last one that required scout?
Do we have that on a handout, by the way? The roles taken in hiking?
Yes, we do. Journey reference sheets 1 and 2.
Now that we have even more people.
Okay, I have not. Okay.
So you'll lead the way, and I'll keep watch.
Well, so Klingerton, I think.
I'll lead the way is not is that's the wrong thing.
And
Let me
only
actually
one
pull this up.
person can do those checks each. One person can lead the way, one person can keep watch.
Right, sorry,
Got
pathfinding
it.
is the talent that I have that gives me the bonus to lead the way, which is why I lead the way. I knew pathfinding wasn't the word I was looking for.
Okay. All right. So I bungled our keeping watch roll. So, so let's
Now
see. I
you
can
can
push it,
Go ahead.
but if I push it in this case, I will take willpower damage because I already have 1 skull.
yes. You will,
Okay.
however, get 2 willpower points if you push.
I like that. Let's do it.
One
Do
for
we-
the pushing and one for the point of damage you'll take.
Is the dice pool correct? Yes. Submit and roll. Got it. Okay. Well, I did get 1 success.
However,
Does that mean you take another point of damage too?
that is what I was. No, actually, he wouldn't because the skull doesn't re-roll.
Right. The skull stays.
So the
Where it
3, the
was.
3, and the 4
Well, it's a
re-rolled,
different-
and with the
So it's a different die, because the 3 would be the skull in the second roll.
well, no, the skull carries over. It never. The skull itself never re-rolls.
No, that's what I'm saying, is that you see it's the second column die that's a skull, and then it's the first column die on the next one. Or as you say, it just moved.
I assume
Yeah,
they
it
just
just
moved
shifted
it.
over.
Okay. I didn't realize that.
Okay,
So
so I
yeah,
took a
you would take.
point of wits damage, and I add a willpower point. Anyone know where the willpower is on the sheet?
Yeah.
At the top left, I thought. No, bottom left.
And that is 2 willpower points you get for that. One for
It's
the
right above,
push,
right above experience.
one for the push, and one for the point of damage.
Oh, interesting. So just the act of pushing gets you a willpower point.
Taking the damage gets you another one.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Did we get any experience last session?
Yes, we had a whole conversation, and I have literally texted you already, Arcloid, so go back over our previous conversations where I explained to you which one got you experience.
And how you can spend them
But no,
to
actually,
buy
I have
new stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, since we just hand waved over a bunch of stuff in town, all of you could have spent your experience in town.
Yeah, I didn't yet on purpose.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we didn't miss out on anyone's chance to do that.
I'm waiting to see what I actually want to improve.
Okay, so now you successfully
I have a quick
led the
question.
way.
Sorry. You said you get a willpower just by pushing at all?
Yes. Yes.
I took a point of wits damage last time I pushed. So I should have 2 willpower then, right? Instead of 1?
Correct.
Okay, because I only had 1 listed.
Yes. 1 for the push, 1 for the damage. Each damage, up to a maximum of 3.
There we go. Alright, just wanted to be right.
Oh yeah, don't short yourself on them points. You'll need them. All right, so that actually moves you 2 hexes. Oh, I'm sorry, no, that would only move you 1 hex. That was the direction everybody was going to go. Oh, I'm sorry, you made the roll to move into that hex. But it is uneventful. You don't see anything other than birds in the trees, smell of flowers in the spring air.
What time of day is it?
It is now moving up to the second quarter of the day. If you zoom out, I actually have a token, big old token down at the bottom for it.
Oh. Sorry, I thought the edge of the map was the edge of the Roll20 map too. I didn't know you added something.
I actually forgot I had it there, to be honest with you. So I realized I had to change it.
You know, I just want to say, maybe, just a thought here, that could be our marching token.
It could be.
And then we only have to look at where we are, which is where we're already looking anyway.
In that case, let me move this up.
Ooh.
That looks like we're at Kirkwood the Lizard Man.
That is actually the Bisti Badlands here in New Mexico. I highly recommend it if you've never been there, and I do believe that is where they filmed that episode.
Is it? I thought they filmed it in that one cave entrance that always gets filmed in California.
The one that's near the Hollywood sign?
I don't actually know where it actually is. I just know it's in California. It's like all the early sci-fi movies.
Yeah, this whole region from Southern California all the way down to the south of New Mexico has always been a hotbed for filming. Carlsbad Cavern is probably in every movie from back in the day that had a natural cavern scene. They stopped doing that, however. It was doing too much damage to the caverns.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Carlsbad Caverns, the main chamber is equivalent to 4 football fields in size. The ceiling is hundreds of feet tall. But, anywho, moving on. Yeah, going into that next text is actually the Deep Dark Forest. So that
Well,
would just move. Go ahead.
I had brought up what time of day it was because we had previously talked about having somebody hunt and having somebody cook, but I also then just realized that Madrigal didn't learn cooking while we were in town, so if we run out of rations while we're out here, we are screwed.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was saving up. I was thinking about doing the cooking.
You can actually try to cook, hunt, or fish, forage without having the proper skill. You would just default down to your base dice.
And what does chef get you?
What skill would that be? Just so I know.
Let me go back to.
Looks like you roll survival to hunt or fish.
I can do a survival roll, but my survival is not the best.
However, I believe while you are hiking, the only thing you can do is hike. That would have to be during one of the quarters of the day where you're not doing anything.
Ah,
Right, which is why, again, I was asking what time of day it was, in case we decided to just stop and refill our stores.
Yes, it is officially midday. Second quarter of the day.
That's weird.
weird in what way?
Oh no, I was looking up what the chef talent actually lets you do. Anybody can cook, and it referred me to page 144 about cooking, and I went to page 144, and that's a little like 2 paragraphs about maps. It's like, that's weird. It has nothing to do with cooking.
Yeah. I know the talent, it gives you a specific ability when you're doing something with rations, I believe.
Well, it says that you can cook them into a food. So it's... Meat can be cooked by a chef. Fish can be cooked by a chef. Page 74. Because, we have a bunch of people who are 2 days away from starving to death. So it's like we gotta
I don't know.
figure this out.
I don't know about that.
You're 1 day away from using your rations up.
I bought
Possibly. It's a 1 in 6.
It's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're always 1 day away from starving to death.
I have to have better luck than I did last time.
Oh yeah, that's where cooking requires a fire and takes a quarter day. See page 144. 144, 2 paragraphs about a map. That's what I was saying. That's weird.
Must just be giving you the wrong thing. The chef talent specifically, at rank 1, you can turn up to D6 units of vegetables, meat, or fish into food. Cooking requires a fire. So basically, the chef is what you would use to turn the stuff you get into actual provisions.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's that second sentence you started to read is the one that says see page 144.